it's Anna, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing part 1 of my September book haul. I've got 7 books to talk to you about today, so without further ado, let's get started. So, book number 1, Empress of the East, How a Slave Became Queen of the Ottoman Empire by Leslie Pierce. So, this is a non-fiction history book that I have been waiting for ages to be put on Kindle. Like I've been pressing that request publisher to make it Kindle-fied for like years, and they finally did it. Although it's probably not just me, but I pressed it enough. Anyway, it is about a slave girl called Roxolana, who was basically captured in some Christian country and taken to the Ottoman capital, and she became like a bed slave, or whatever you want to call it, of the Sultan Suleiman, and she eventually rose in rank so much, like she had quite a number of children with him. I think there's a rule that basically once you've had a son with the Sultan, he doesn't sleep with you anymore. Like, off you go. And then you have to just wait till your son grows up so he can battle it out with his half-brothers to become Sultan. And your kid will probably die. But Roxolana actually captured the Sultan's heart, and he elevated her to a very, very high rank, and he basically started living in like a nuclear family with her. She wielded a lot of political power. You know, she's sort of been reviled as, you know, one of those evil women who like have men wrapped around their little finger and blah 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 blah, but God, like, whatever. Like, anyway, I just don't subscribe to that bullshit. So I've always been kind of interested to know a bit more about her, and I believe at one point she was actually ruling for the Sultan while he was either sick or he was off playing war with his little army, or his ginormous army actually, but whatever. So she had a lot of political clout, and I think that's really, really interesting. So, move on. Book number 2, Why We Sleep, The New Science of Sleep and Dreams by Matthew Walker. It is non-fiction science. It is written by an actual sleep specialist, so he actually knows what he's talking about. So I'm particularly interested in sleep because I have a lot of sleep disorders. I've got REM behavior disorder, I have a circadian rhythm disorder, I have some other random non-REM behavior disorder. That's not actually a thing, but like I flap around when I'm dreaming and when I'm not dreaming, so there's not actually a clinical diagnosis for that. So they're just like, yeah, you move a lot. I also suffer from hypersomnia, which is more of as opposed to an actual disorder itself, it's more of a symptom. I also suffer from insomnia, again, more of a symptom of my circadian rhythm disorder, which, you know, my circadian rhythm's kind of like this, where other people's are like, awake, asleep, awake, asleep, and I'm like, nearly asleep all the time. And I do get treatment, but it is very, very hard to stick to the treatment because everything is so regimented. Like, you're meant to get up at exactly the same time every morning. You are meant to sit in the sun like a flower in a flower pot in a window. You're meant to have regular exercise at exactly the same time every day. You're meant to eat meals at exactly the same time every day, and of about the same size, so it's not like you can go, oh, I'm feeling like I'd like to eat a really big, like, burger and fries and a milkshake. No, you're not meant to do that. And yeah, there's problems with sleep are along to problems with mental health. If you're not sleeping well, you're going to be grumpy, you're going to be irritable, you're going to be depressed, and it's all a big cycle. So I'm always interested to read more about sleep, and there's a lot about, like, I've done a lot of research, but it's been very specific to my particular problems, and I'd like to know more about the general nature of sleep, so I have more of a background to lay all that other information on. Anyway, moving on. Book number 3. Now this one's going to be a weird one. Nuns and Nunneries in Renaissance Florence by Sharon T. Strocchia. It's non-fiction history, and yeah, the title kind of says it all. I'm interested in, you know, like, the all-female community, and at this particular time in history, the Renaissance, there was like a big upswing in, like, the number of convents and the number of women who were, you know, being put into the convents, and a lot of them not really by choice. It's not like they went, oh, I have a calling, you know, God has called me to this life. No, a lot of aristocratic families, you know, like the second, like, you know, if you have a few extra daughters, put them in a convent, because in this particular social climate, we can't afford to, like, their dowries, to send them off to get married. So, convent. And another, like, lower class is not where I'm going, not what I want to say, but families that had a lot less money as well, they were putting their daughters in convents basically to rescue them from death. You know, if the rich couldn't afford a dowry, the poor certainly couldn't either, and it was a way to keep their children alive, give them a place, shelter, food, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I'm just really interested in that. There's a few other books about nuns that I really want to get, but they're yeah, they cost a lot more, so I'm still waiting. Maybe I'll have an influx of cash or something. Anyway, moving on. Number 4, Sabriel by Garth Nix. Apparently I missed the boat on this one. Like, I feel like this book has been around forever, and I've just never read it. So it's YA fantasy. It's the first in the Old Kingdom Chronicles, and it's about a girl called Sabriel, and she lives outside of the walls of the Old Kingdom, and, you know, away from free magic and dead people who won't stay dead. And one day her father, the mage Aborson, I think I said that right, disappears, so she has to cross into that treacherous, dangerous world to go find him. So my understanding is there's some sort of, like, necromancy and stuff. So, yep. And to continue with my fantasy theme, because pretty much all my books in general are fantasy, really. Number 5, The Black Witch by Laurie Frost. Again, YA fantasy. It is the first book in the Black Witch Chronicles. It is about a girl called Eloran Gardner. Yep, Gardner. She is the granddaughter of the famous Black Witch. The Black Witch had something to do with like ending a war or doing something very magical. And Eloran is her spitting image. Everybody thinks that it's this, you know, woman like reincarnated, but Eloran has no magic at all. Like none. So she is very excited when she's like 17. She is allowed to go to university to become an apothecary, and you know, she's really interested in sort of healing and medicinal herbs and all that sort of stuff, and you know, that's her passion. And she thinks, oh, finally I'm going to the university, it's going to be great, I'm going to get to learn the stuff I want to learn, I'm going to get to, you know, just get away from all, be me. The university is full of people who hate her family, and she finds that it is a treacherous place for the granddaughter of the Black Witch, so it's not really going to go how she thinks it's going to go. Alright, number 6. Scythe by Neil Schusterman. So YA fantasy / sci-fi / dystopia. It is the first in the arc of the Scythe series. The second book has come out fairly recently, but I don't actually know how many there are in total. So this is a story about it's set in a world where disease, death, war, crime, all of that has been eliminated. Yep. Alright, we have progressed. So the only way to die is to be killed by professionals called scythes. And you're not really killed, you're gleaned, whatever. So the story centers around Citra and Rowan. They are selected to be scythe apprentices, and even though like they're not interested and they really don't want to do it, they don't really have a choice. And it turns out that at the end of this apprenticeship, only one of them will be chosen to be a scythe, and the other one is going to have to be gleaned. So, And final book, number 7, Give the Dark My Love by Beth Revis. It's a YA fantasy, it's the first in a series. Technically don't have it yet. It's on pre-order, it comes out September 25th, I believe. So, I've been looking forward to this one for a couple months actually. Or more than a couple, whatever. It's about a girl called Nedra. She is accepted into the prestigious Yugen Academy, you know, where all the rich, powerful people go. She's accepted on a scholarship from, you know, the poor northern areas or whatever. And she is going to study medicinal alchemy. She is particularly motivated because there is a plague sweeping the country, and it's already well and truly established in her home sort of area, her home island, and you know, it's on its way to the capital. And you know, as the story sort of heats up, you know, more and more people start dying, things becoming very yeah, not great, desperate, and Nedra turns to a sort of a darker path and starts to explore necromancy. And the only person that could possibly maybe pull her back from the darkness is her unlikely friend, Grey, who is very, very rich, but apparently appreciates intelligence. So, that was my September haul. Thank you for watching. If you've read any of these books, let me know below. Let me know what you thought. And, yeah, like my video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe below if you want notifications for future videos. press the little bell. Again, that's it from me. Thank you for watching.